Welcome to the review of the High Grade Evangelion Unit 1, the High Grade GFreD from Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuux. Well, coming from the same mechanical designer of Neon Genesis Evangelion, we have what is essentially the love child of Gundam and Eva. Also known as the GQuuuuux Unit 2, this kit was developed from the GQuuuuux. As expected, this kit reuses a lot of parts from the GQuuuuux, but don't let that fool you. This kit is great in its own way. Let me show you. To the unboxing. Released in August 2025, the High Grade GFreD comes in at an SRP of 2,530 yen, tax included, slightly more expensive than the GQuuuuux, which was 2,200 yen. The box art illustration is by Kenko and the background is by Kumaguro, which are the main artists for the box arts in this line. The box is of standard HG size. Taking a look at the front of the box, we have this beautiful illustration. The GQuuuuux kits really don't miss when it comes to box art. This is how it would look like stacked into your ever-growing backlog. This is the 8th in the line. At the top, we have the front and back of the painted model along with the synopsis of the story. At the bottom, we have different action poses you can do, we get some good articulation right there, and it also has detachable bits. Then we have the gimmicks and accessories that it comes with. Opening up the box, we have 3 bags of runners and the manual. The manual's front has the illustration and description of the mobile suit and the pilot. Feel free to pause if you want to read it. Then we have the runner list, and it seems that we aren't gonna have any unused parts, which is interesting considering the amount of reused runners. The rest is just the normal assembly instructions. At the back, we have the descriptions of the different armaments. We have the beam rifle, the beam sabers, the shield, the core fighter, the ES-bit, Luna, and Artemis. We also have the specifications, which is around 18.2 in height, so slightly shorter than the R78, which is 18.5. Lastly, the color guide, which this kit has a lot of colors, 4 shades of blue, 3 shades of green, and more. For the runners, we have a total of 7 consisting of many different colors of polystyrene plastic. No polycaps in this build. 6 of the runners are labeled GQuuuuux, though there are some new pieces on those runners. Only runner F is labeled GFreD, which is mostly for the head and shoulders. Then we have the color correcting sticker sheet, which is not that big actually, and the decals for the different markings. That's it for the contents of the box, so let's build it. So the build reuses, in my guesstimate, 70 to 80% of the GQuuuuux. Most of the new pieces are for the head, which for high grade has a lot of pieces, and you get 2 of them as well. Despite that, it still ends up looking quite different due to how they changed where and what colors there are, which there are a lot of colors. Since I have built the GQuuuuux previously, this kit was mostly familiar, but if you haven't, you should definitely give this a try. The build is unlike any other main Gundam. Because of the unique design elements, the construction is fresh and interesting, especially if you're a veteran builder. If I were to sum it up into something more familiar, think of Kyokai Senki, if anyone actually built those, meets Gundam Evangelion Hybrid. If you're new to building model kits that probably sounded like gibberish, and at this point any build is unique to you, let's just say it builds like a cool, funky looking giant robot. Now, taking a look at the kit, this is what it looks like out of the box, following the manual, nothing less, nothing more. I want to show it as is without any extra effort so you guys can get a clear view, though I always recommend adding a bit of effort into your kits, show it some love. Anyways, the kit looks great as you can see. It unapologetically borrows a lot of design elements from the EVA Unit 1, the color scheme, the silhouette, almost as if the same people made them. Well, the mechanical designer is the same, being Ikuto Yamashita. So if you like Gundam and Evangelion, this is the mobile suit for you. The GFreD is very colorful. We have multiple shades of blue, green, purple, some yellow, some red. You'd think it'll look too busy, but honestly, it works. The color blocking is well done and you get a great looking mobile suit. But of course, there are flaws, so let's get into it. First, I'd like to mention all of the use of the stickers. The instruction manual tells you to place all of them, including the marking sheet, which is usually optional and put in the back of the manual, but this one it's told you place them while building, so I did. So here are the stickers we have. A sticker for the eye sensors, this red bit is also a sticker, one at the collar, and a bunch of green ones around the torso. The secondary head shares the same type of stickers as well. There's green lining on the shoulders, red stickers on the side skirts, I don't know what these are classified as. There's also red lining on the side of the thighs, there's a lot of white lining on the side of the leg, and a sticker in the fuel tank inside. A red one at the foot. The backpack has more green lining. These ones at the back of the collar are already peeling out, so are these at the waist, so the addition of the marking decals isn't that good, so I would wait for water slides in my opinion. Now for the color accuracy, there are some missing as well. This elevated part should be in blue, this should be in white and green, the backpack is missing some purple, this yellow bit should have some dark gray, so is this area on the bit, this line should be in yellow, the inside should be in gray, The round back of the shoulder should be in green. These circles should be gray. There should be some white at the elbow covers. These bits should be in gray, and this area should be purple. And for the seam lines, there's one at the back of the head, at the backpack joint, the center of the backpack, one at the binder that goes through some detail, unfortunately, one at the back of the thigh, at the side of the leg, and at the middle of the ankle armor. If you want to see how to fix the seam lines, I'm working on a custom video on the GQuuuuux right now. Stay tuned for that if I can finish it on time. Anyways, in terms of size, it's around 13 centimeters. Here it is next to the Police Zaku and next to the R78. So yeah, this kit has quite a bit of the model kit flaws, stickers, inaccuracies, and seam lines, but honestly, I wouldn't hold it against it too much, mainly because just take a look at the design. There's only so much they can do to recreate that in an affordable and accessible high grade. If this was a real grade or a master grade, please, Bandai, I have no doubt this would all be solved. But alas, this design is somewhat limited by being a high grade. Still looks good, even with the missing colors and seams. I have no doubt that most people will enjoy having this on the shelf. If you're really bothered by the flaws, you can always add a little bit of effort, which I do encourage if you have the means to, of course. So here's what it comes with out of the box. We have 2 pairs of hands, a shield, 2 beam swords, a beam rifle, an additional optional head, a rifle holding adapter, which the GQuuuuux did not include, the head of the core fighter, and the adapters for the bits on the head. For the right arm, they attach via ball joint. We have a holding fist and an open hand. For the left arm, it's the same, holding fist and open hand. For the additional head, it is the opened version. Looks kind of familiar. To change the head, it's as easy as popping off the equipped head and popping in the new head. We then have the beam rifle, which has some missing color apps, mainly the blue on the handle and over here, some yellow lining as well at the scope. We get a sticker for the sensor. To put it on, you just sandwich it into the hand. Either hand works. It holds it well, no problem with the weight or stability. Unlike the GQuuuuux, this actually comes with an adapter to store the rifle when not in use onto the mobile suit. It attaches onto the peg underneath the waist where the action base usually goes, but they actually thought of it and added another peg hole so you can still put it on an action base while using the adapter. Pretty cool. Then we have the shield. It's nice, but we actually have quite a bit of missing color. I'll just show it on the screen. Yeah, you gotta paint it, which I will be showing in my custom for the GQuuuuux. Please watch those. Those take more effort than I like to admit. Okay, that's the last time I'm gonna mention this. Anyways, again, it's a high grade, so you can't expect this to be fully color accurate, especially for such a complex design. To place it, the handle just goes in via a ball joint, then slides onto the wrist on either arm, no problem. We then have the beam sabers with a nice purple pearlescent sort of clear part. It just slides off and on from the handle. You sandwich it into the holding hand and you're good, no problem handling it. To store the handles, you have 2 pegs at the back of the waist. Just push them in and there you go. For the core fighter, you just push it into the backpack. We are missing quite a bit of color again. A bit unfortunate, but expected. There is a peg hole at the bottom to connect to an action base, not included by the way. So if you want to display it, get an action base. Then we have the adapters for the ES bits on the head. You just pop the bits out of the head, pretty simple. You slide it onto the adapter, then you put it onto the action base, not included. In the manual, it just shows that you should get the Witch from Mercury bases. Unfortunate that they couldn't include just a tiny one, because this gimmick is basically useless if you don't buy any action base. But I guess they gotta keep this thing affordable. That's it for the accessories. Pretty standard for a Gundam. Some flaws, but they look good and they work well. My favorite is definitely the extra head. Who doesn't love head, right? It really makes certain poses pop up more. Speaking of posing, let's get into the articulation, which this kit is really excelling at, especially for high grade. The head is on a double ball joint with a ball at the base and a hinge at the top of the neck, so you get good movement. The arm can go slightly above 90 degrees, full 360 on the upper bicep, single jointed elbow bend, but you get a full one, rotation at the wrist cuffs. The hands are on ball joints. The torso has great articulation forward and back, but it doesn't get loose. There's a little wiggle at the shoulder. The thighs are a bit blocked by the armor, but you can rotate it well enough to get most poses. The backward kick is great, you can get it all the way. So is the forward kick. Well, you can actually get a full 360 kick, which is quite surprising. I don't know if that'll be useful. Leg split a little bit blocked by the side skirt, but not too bad. We also have a single jointed knee, you can get a full bend as well. The unique ankles are on the ball joint so you can get lots of good movement. These feet are on a peg so it can rotate as much as you would need. The backpack can rotate, the binder joint can rotate as well, and the binders can rotate diagonally. That's it for the articulation, and this kit passes with flying colors. Its unique engineering allows it to pose in ways that other mobile suits would be jealous of. It's like Bandai learned from the disaster that is the Kyokai Senki line, but hey, at least it had some positive impact on future kits. Posing this kit is a dream. Nothing is falling off, nothing is sagging, it is solid, and the accessories work well. I really had fun making cool poses with this kit, and I really appreciate that after filming the RG Avalanche Extra. I'll edit that one next. Sometimes a kit like this is what you need to reignite some passion. Okay, let's summarize this review into my likes and dislikes. First, I like the build. The build is fun, the engineering is unique, and the overall product looks good and feels good. I also like the accessories. You get a lot for the price tag. Yeah, no action base included, but for 2,500 yen or $17 US, you can't really complain. The extra head is really nice. Lastly, the best part is the posability. It is so fun to pose, no problems when I was filming, and it just works. It's well balanced and very articulated. For my dislikes, I have to mention that the bit accessories need an action base to be of any use. So yeah, extra spending if you want that gimmick, or you can make one out of the runners if you want to DIY it. And lastly, of course, we have the color inaccuracies and seam lines. I'm not gonna be too harsh on it because of the design. It's just too much for a high grade to handle. Just know that if you want it to look like in the anime or the promotional images, more effort is required. So, is this kit a buy? Well, yes, unless you hate the design. This kit isn't mind-blowing enough to change your mind, but if you already are a fan of the design or even on the fence, I suggest giving this thing a shot. It's inexpensive but very, very satisfying. That's it for the review. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. I'll try to answer any comments as best as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye!